G'day folks, you find us in far north Queensland on the Old Telegraph Track. Last episode you left us at Cockatoo Creek where we had already had some serious challenges and a few battle scars on my F-150. So if you haven't seen that episode, be sure to check it out. But this time we have so many more challenges to come. I cannot wait to get into it. And our aim is to make it to the northernmost point of Australia, Cape York.
This episode I'm joined again by Steve from Red Arc, who will be behind the wheel of our Ford Everest, and of course Josh, who will be helming our beautiful Bronze Ranger Tremor. We'll be heading up the Old Telegraph Track, taking in some beautiful stops. Twin Falls and Eliot Falls, the Jardine River, and all the way up to the tip of Australia. And believe me when I tell you that this journey won't be without its challenges, with plenty of obstacles, water crossings, and maybe even the odd bogging. Our first stop is just ahead at Fruitbat Falls. We just need to navigate a slightly tough bit of track to get there.
Wow, well, we've got a little drop off into Cypress Creek at the moment. I never like my side steps anyway. Here we go. Gently as she does it. And we've slid down.
That was a doozy.
Surely was. The Cape is a doozy a minute at the moment. The challenges just keep on coming. We're on the sliders here.
Josh is getting some terrific angles here.
We are awfully close to panel damage right here. You can hear that beeping. That's just how close I am to the track. It's trying to swallow me whole here.
Oh, whoa, yep, whoa, yep, hey. Yeah, that's definitely in the air. Your beauty. That was unreal.
I would recommend doing a four-wheel drive course before you do the Cape because it's going to test all your skills. You're going to learn the skills and then you're going to put them into practice. Steep descents, steep inclines, wheels off, diff locks, the Worksburger, water crossings. Boy oh boy, if you want a condensed four-wheel drive course, come to Cape York, but I'd recommend doing the course first.
There is so many unexpected obstacles and hurdles on this track. This is one I could not say in good faith that anybody should ever drive at night. Because, there is just so much going on. So much going on. Steep drop-offs, steep inclines, declines. It's all happening. Just save it for the daytime, folks. It's not worth it.
Fruitbat Falls is a naturally occurring weir and found a few kilometres from the junction of the Southern Bypass Road and the Old Telegraph Track. And it is a fantastic place to stop and wash off the dust, and it's mostly croc-free. But it doesn't hurt to be cautious.
To the uninitiated, you might wonder why we would bother subjecting our four-wheel drives and our bodies to the rough and tumble of Cape York. Well, I think that reason becomes apparent when you land at a place like this. This to me is off-road heaven. Fruitbat Falls, folks. A magnificent swimming hole, gorgeous waterfall, crystal clear water. Doesn't get much better.
And well, there's nothing for it but to hop in and enjoy that beautiful crystal clear water. What a spot. Simply beautiful.
Steve, I've noticed when I've been looking at my Red Vision screen today, I've been charging at about 95 amps, and yesterday I was doing about 100, sometimes even 101 from my Alpha system. Is there a reason why that would fluctuate?
Yeah, absolutely, Pat. Today it's fairly warm. The batteries were heavily discharged last night, so they've been taking a fair bit of current this morning, so they may have come up to temperature, and the manager actually monitors battery temperature and adjusts charge in real time to not only charge them effectively and correctly, but also protect them.
That's a very cool feature. Still blows me away, this system, just how quick it charges your batteries. Like, it is crazy. We can run induction cooking, charge camera gear, and we're running 2 fridges
plus a beer chiller, which is basically another fridge. Oh man, not to mention running the stereo, and it only seems to take a few hours to recharge the next day.
Just the speed in which you can do it is unreal. It just gives you total freedom at the campsite, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does, because I mean, let's face it, with the old lead acid batteries and slow charges, you'd have to drive for sometimes 7 or 8 hours to get the charge back in, and these things, it's just, literally just a matter of 1 or 2 hours and they're charged up.
Yeah, it's great. And keep an eye on it. You'll see it'll change its charging current as temperatures and things change. So, yeah, it's a good thing to keep a look on.
And as you say that, mate, she's popped back up to 100.
Spot on. Good stuff.
In terms of when to travel to Cape York, it's really over those winter months. You don't want to come up here in the wet. The rivers are simply too high, the track is too wet and too challenging and basically undrivable. It would be irresponsible to do it in the wet season. So I think around about that June, July mark is not a bad time to come, but I would recommend trying to, if at all possible, avoid the school holidays, because that is when this place gets really, really busy, and certainly the Old Telegraph Track gets very blocked up, and the Jardine Ferry also has a massive weight to it. So if you can just avoid those holiday periods but come up here in the winter months, the weather is absolutely gorgeous. You'll be experiencing temperatures nighttime of sort of early 20s and daytime probably 28 to 30 degrees. So it is a beautiful time to come. It's always a little bit humid up here, and I'd also recommend really covering up. Cover up for the sun, and also cover up your body in terms of the bities. There are quite a few of them up here, and you will get ravaged around a lot of the campsites by mosquitoes. I know my ankles so far have been absolutely munched by the mozzies. You might be wondering, can I actually take a camper trailer up here to Cape York? And the answer is yes and no. If you want to drive the Old Telegraph Track, I would say absolutely no. But the trick that I've done before is to actually park your camper trailer at places like Bramwell Station, leave your camper there, and then go and drive the Old Telegraph Track. And then what you do is you just jump on the Peninsula Development Road and race back, camp another night at Bramwell Station, and then tow up the development road. So you can sort of have your cake and eat it too. Have the comfort of your camper trailer, but make sure you have it disconnected if you want to do the Old Telegraph Track. It's too hard. It is too much of a mind bender to try and drag a camper trailer all the way up to the tip. I've done it before. I wouldn't recommend it, and I certainly won't be doing it again.
Cape York will have you spoiled for beautiful places to take a dip, and our next stop is one of them. Eliot Falls and Twin Falls are just off the Old Telegraph Track. A short walk along a boardwalk, and we were greeted with this magnificent sight. And somehow, we were the only lucky buggers here.
Oh, the temperature's pretty good, boys.
It's heaps good.
Pretty nice.
And we got the whole place to ourselves.
Even better.
Yes. Look at the colour of that. That, I don't know, what is it? Greeny, clear, turquoisey. It's so gorgeous, isn't it?
So inviting.
Yes. Man could never make something this beautiful, could they?
Not at all. Not at all. Ah, nice. How good.
I'm not only washing myself, but my clothes.
Way to go. Well, fellas, first impressions, Twin Falls. What do you reckon?
Pristine, perfect.
Unbelievable. I can't get over this.
Will you be back, Steve?
Oh, 100%. I'll be bringing the wife. Absolutely.
Good stuff.
It's nice though because the track is so challenging, but you're rewarded at every sort of step as well.
That's it. And I mean, what about the track conditions for you guys so far? What do you think?
I expected it to be gnarly. I didn't expect it to be this gnarly. The drop-ins where you're looking at the windscreen and all you see is earth is just terrifying.
Yeah, I had no preconceived ideas of what I was coming up against, so I've been an open book and I've been thoroughly impressed with what we've gone through. Some really challenging parts, but also some really nice, easy bits as well.
Yeah, okay. To me, it's like, having been up here a bunch of times, it's gone from, I think if you liken it to ski runs, it was probably a blue run and a little bit of black now it's double black diamond. You really know about it. You're practicing every different skill under the book to get up here, and sadly, it's doing a little bit of damage to me anyway, not you guys.
I really do feel like as soon as you take your eyes off the track for just a second, it punishes you. And respect out here for this track. You need it. Like,
that's a great point, Josh, because you do something even like the canning, and you can kind of cruise for a lot of it. Your mind can go into neutral just about, but here, your mirrors will get smacked because you didn't see a tree. You'll do what I did and smash a rock and dent a sill, or never mind the actual obstacles that are in front of you, the big declines where you could smack your bull bar into your face, so she's a challenge.
And we're averaging 30 Ks a day and it feels like we're doing 300,
Yes, yeah.
You just get decision fatigue and which line am I going to do, because every one of our lines has to be different with different wheelbases. Like,
that's it, yeah.
A little bit of a scrabble up the rocks, and I'd found a bit of fun.
Oh man, Cape York makes you feel like an absolute teenager. When you get waterfalls like this, it is criminal not to take advantage of it. What a beautiful sight. And sometimes, well, you just got to jump in. Let's go. Woo!
The Cape truly is one of the most rewarding 4x4 destinations in the country, and we could have stayed here at Eliot Falls all day. There's even a campsite out the back, but there are more tracks to drive, so we marched onwards. Now that we'd enjoyed a couple of relaxing waterholes for the morning, it was time to earn our keep with the first obstacle of the day, which just happens to be another beautiful creek.
Oh wow, I tell you, is there any end to the beauty here in Cape York? You cross these creeks. This one is called Canal Creek. Just look at it, folks. Look at it. Any one of these water crossings you would happily swim in, probably drink out of, to be honest. You'll notice that there is a whole lot of wheel articulation required as you're driving along the Old Telegraph Track, but occasionally you can hit something unexpected. It might be a tree root popping out of the side of the track, it could be a big rock, and what that can occasionally do is violently spin your steering wheel, because it spins your tyre really quickly in your wheel, and then that transfers straight back up the steering shaft to the steering wheel. Now, if your thumbs are on the inside of your steering wheel spokes, it can actually dislocate or even break your thumbs. Not a nice thing to happen, folks, so just make it good practice to keep your thumbs on the outside of the steering wheel. That way, if that steering wheel does get jerked rapidly and violently, then you're not going to do any damage to yourself.
Today is a day of water crossings, and with one down, our next is slightly trickier.
I am dropping into Sam Creek now, and I tell you what, I feel like I've got to breathe in the big rig because this is very, very skinny, and I hope not to hit things. Whoa, there we go, and we're in. Just try to gently get the tail in so it doesn't go bang. There we go. And off we go. So you don't need a bow wave in every water crossing, folks. You can just sort of drop things in gently, especially for little short and reasonably shallow things like this. There's a nice little climb out of here. I'm just going to throw the rear diff lock on because I might need it. We shall see. And up we go. Oh, good bit of liftage. Oh man, it's so interesting driving this vehicle. The long wheelbase is so handy in situations like that. In others, not so good. Breakover angle isn't quite as strong. I think I need to run 40-inch tyres.
And here we go, another bit of gnarliness. This is skinny. Just sounded like a submarine then. Gosh. And now for the gnarly exit. You gotta love a track that makes you smile. If it doesn't make you smile, just don't drive it.
Pretty deep. Ah, that's nice. That's controlled out. Beautiful. Coming up. Oh yeah, that was a big lift. That was good. Man, this heavy. It just goes up.
And the final in the trifecta of creeks for the morning is Mistake Creek.
Judging by the look of this entrance in, and the shrubbery on it, it doesn't look like many people have been down here for the amount of people we know are doing the Old Telly track. So that says a lot. This track is so skinny. So skinny. My mirrors are in, so I can't see. All I'll know about how close I am to that rock wall is the sound of scrapes and dings if I hit it. I think we're in the clear here. Now it calls for a bit of power to get out. Oh, yeah. I've lost count of the amount of deep breaths I've taken on this track. There has been many. There's been points where this track has called in every bit of knowledge I have from well over a decade of wheeling, and that's not to say I got it right every time. I certainly didn't. But by the time we reach the end of this, I will be a much better wheeler. I will have stocked so much stuff in my four-wheel driving library. This track, for a beginner, yeah, it's going to be tough, and yeah, you're going to break stuff. But I promise you, the same as we will, you will come out the other end a much better wheeler, a much better four-wheel driver.
You find us navigating our next obstacle on the Old Telegraph Track. We're at the log bridge at Cypress Creek, and it's got everyone a little nervous. So we're all taking extra precautions and walking it before we drive.
Our first log bridge, fellas.
Yeah.
She's a long way down.
I feel like we're in the Amazon now.
You do not want to come adrift here, do you?
No, certainly not.
But we've got our, I'm pretty sure this is Queensland Roads regulation straps here.
Absolutely.
Everything's all legit. These logs have been stress tested.
There's signs up everywhere saying it's safe.
This will be fun. Okay. Well, let's not block up the track. I'm just thinking, Steve, do you want to call us through? You can guide us. I would like to personally put my right-hand tyre through.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And then we'll guide you through.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I might chuck you this uni then, mate.
Oh, thanks, man. Beautiful. Get her on and I'll get you through.
Okay, let's drive it.
So with Steve on comms guiding Josh and I through, it was time to drive.
Okay, so
Yeah, mate, keep going left hand down like that. Straighten him up a bit. Tiny bit more left hand down, sorry.
just trying to scare me.
That's good, that's good. Keep coming straight.
This is just a game of trust.
Now go tiny bit left down. Straighten him back up and you're all good. Keep coming through.
Beautiful, thanks mate.
That's all right.
Smooth sailing.
The big log there was moving out on the top.
So for that crossing, I did have it in low range. Makes perfect sense. And I didn't have the differential lock on. I don't think I really needed it there.
I'll bring you a bit closer in with the cap. Straight up.
There's absolutely nothing that could go wrong here.
Bring it on through. I think you're good there.
The sound of the creaking's really nice, isn't it?
That's 2 down, 1 to go.
When you're guiding, it's a good idea to use hand signals so you can sort of let them know rather than left hand down, right hand down, which can be a little bit confusing. A little bit that way, a little bit of that way, and you're usually pretty well sorted. And when you are guiding in a situation like this, it's slow, slow, slow. You just got to make everything slow and deliberate because here, one false move, not good.
I'll now put that into action as I guide Steve across.
Oh, mate, you don't need me. Beautifully lined up. Yeah, just keep it slow, nice and slow. Crawl it over. That's it. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. That way, that way. Well done.
The obstacles don't seem to stop here. Having cleared Cypress Creek, straight away we were into another water crossing at Cannibal Creek.
Wow. Go Patsky. That's so good. Seeing an F truck turn a corner with the front right up in the air is a sight to behold. Nice and easy. See, I didn't freak out in that one. I've been listening to Patsky's advice in the water. That went much better for me. I liked that one.
Cannibal Creek is a nice, easy crossing, but there's a much bigger, deeper one coming up.
Well, fellas, we've done Gunshot Creek, but there's another obstacle that's coming up that I think you guys, well, you might enjoy. And that is called Nolan's Brook. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it before. It's deep, isn't it? Like very, very deep.
She can be a bit of a car swallower, mate. I've seen dozens of cars go in and not come out under their own steam.
Well, if we can avoid that, it'll be great.
Yeah, so with Nolan's Brook, guys, I don't know whether we'll cross it. We really do just want to suss it out because we're so close to the tip now. The cars are amazingly still in one piece, and yeah, we just want to decide whether we want to take the risk because, let's face it, water and machinery doesn't always mix.
No, it certainly doesn't. And like everyone else who would like to be going home, we would like to film another 7 episodes with these cars. Or 6, I should say.
Top plan. Let's go have a look and see what it's going to bring up for us.
And I think my plan is similar to the advice that I would give to anyone, is to pull up and have a cup of tea or have some lunch and just suss it out and take your time, decide whether you want to do it. And as you're sitting there waiting, chances are you might watch someone else drive through, and that will give you a little bit of additional information to help you decide whether you want to cross as well.
Sounds like a solid plan. As water crossings go on the Old Telegraph Track, is this one the worst, the hardest?
Yes. That's a very simple answer, mate. It absolutely is.
We pulled into Nolan's Brook, a place with a hell of a reputation. More vehicles are written off here than any other in Cape York. Unsurprisingly, we weren't the only ones here. In fact, quite the crowd had gathered to watch other adventurers make the crossing. We also took the opportunity to knock even more air out of the tyres before attempting the crossing, as it has a soft sandy bottom, and this is one you definitely don't want to risk being caught out on. Then the best course of action is to walk it, with some gentle encouragement from the gathered crowd.
You walk in that tyre track, mate, and I'll walk in this one, and we'll see what we're going to get. So this isn't too bad so far.
No, it's a good sandy bottom at least.
There's a little hole. That's all right. Pretty quick.
I'm going to lose a mic pack here soon, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming up now.
Jimbo, swing around and have a look at this. We got the we have the peanut gallery here. So right here, some of you guys have been out there with a shovel. No, not at all. Okay.
One of the groups frolicking in the creek caught my attention. They're from Camp Quality and are making their way up the telly track for charity.
Well, Rachel, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What finds you up here on the Cape? What are you up to?
We have a 7-day event for Camp Quality called Fun by 4. We run Fun by 4 every year. It changes destinations, so this year's event was in Cape York.
Fantastic. And what are we raising money for? Where does that money actually get to?
So we raise money for children and families impacted by cancer from ages 0 to 15, whether it's their own diagnosis or a diagnosis of a parent or sibling.
Wow.
Yeah.
And actually, one of our crew has actually been a cancer sufferer in the past
Yes,
as
I've
a kid,
heard,
and
I've heard.
she's benefited from the wonderful
Yeah.
work that you guys are up to.
Yeah.
So how's the tally going for this particular trip? How much have you raised?
So at the moment we're at $209,000 against their $250,000 goal that they set out to achieve, which is the most. We currently have the biggest group that we've ever had on Fun by Four, and this is the most that the event's ever raised as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And these events, they happen yearly?
Yes, they do. Yes. So last year we went to the Victorian High Country in April. The year before with that, we went to the Simpson Desert. We've been to Fraser Island. So Fun by Four is still a relatively new event. We've only had six. This is the sixth event. So it has been growing, but yeah, it's definitely one where we capped it this year. I think 30 is more than enough to take to Cape York. So yeah, it's been great.
Fantastic. Well, folks, I mean, what a great way to have an amazing four-wheel drive adventure, but also to raise money for an incredible cause. I think I might have to check out the dates for next year.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. We'd love to have you.
So armed with the knowledge we needed and a line chosen, it was back in the rigs.
Okay, here we go. There is nothing like having a crowd with a water crossing. There we go.
Bit bumpy there, isn't it, mate?
Bit lumpy.
Josh and Steve navigated their rigs through without a problem. Talk about performance under pressure.
Completely forgot to say anything on this in-car camera here because that crowd, there's just no way I wanted to get stuck in front of them. It's hard enough with everyone else watching at home, but when you've got a big live crowd like that, don't want it to happen. The unfortunate thing there was that people had dug holes and it meant we couldn't take the track we wanted to, and you'll even see that we hit a few bumps on the way out, and that was remnants of some more of those holes. It's not the best thing to see, and in fact, it's really sad because the convoy that came in after that was a convoy for charity, and they would have been the ones stuck if they hadn't have walked it first. So just goes to show, do get out and do walk it, because you don't know what's been going on in there.
There's so many ways to get wet in the Cape. Often you're walking across the river or you are rolling around in the mud. And when you're getting into a car that you actually love, you don't want to make it feral and wreck the seats. So I've actually installed these seat covers here. They've got a nice soft cotton feel, but they're actually 100% waterproof. So I can rock in my wet shorts or muddy shorts if you've been changing a tyre or something, and do no damage and have no guilt whatsoever for treating my car badly. These things are actually made over in Perth as well, 100% Aussie made, and that makes me feel good. Black Duck, folks, that's the name, and you might want to check them out, especially if you're going to come up the Cape.
You will have seen just how crowded it is there at the campsite at Nolan's Brook, and for good reason. There is entertainment, waterholes, it's pretty cool. But it's a bit too crowded for me, so that's why I'm just heading a little bit further north to a camp that not many people go to at all. Normally, they do Nolan's Brook and then jump straight on the Jardine Ferry and head over to the more popular campsites of Punset Bay and Seisha. They're dead keen to get to the tip. I've got a little bit more time up my sleeve, so I'm going to take our team and we're going to camp on the banks of the beautiful Jardine River.
Cape has just opened up for us. We've gone from these tight, closed-in spaces to this, and it feels massive comparative to what was a jungle that we're in. It's nice to be back out in the open. The world suddenly feels a lot bigger.
If you're new to four-wheel driving or simply haven't mustered up the courage to do your first water crossing, let me give you a few tips to get you on your way.
Water crossings definitely involve a little bit of skill and technique, both in the preparation and in the driving. Now, when you are preparing for a water crossing, obviously the first thing you want to do is to walk that crossing. Now, when we walk it, we're looking for all sorts of different things. We're looking for obstacles under the water. They might be holes, they might be logs, rocks, whatever. You also want to feel what it's like on the base there. So is it muddy? Is it sloppy? Is it sandy? And if it is sandy, how do you want to actually attack that? Do you want to reduce your tyre pressures as you would normally in a sandy location? So there's a lot of things that should go through your head when you're walking that water crossing. Now, once you have walked that water crossing, the next thing I think you should do is actually consider, do you actually want to put you and your vehicle through that? If you're feeling really uneasy and unsure about your skills and the capability of your four-wheel drive, be brave and actually turn around. That's sometimes the smartest thing to do. And up here in Cape York, that's a really easy thing to do because there's a lot of little tracks that you can backtrack and head straight across to harder ground and not put yourself or your vehicle through these sort of situations, because they are challenging, and if they do go wrong, they are very expensive, and it often involves an absolute write-off of your vehicle and sometimes an increased insurance excess as well. So if you don't get it right, it's pretty damn bad. Something else you could consider is actually putting a water blind over the front of your four-wheel drive. That does a few things. It does create a little bit better air bubble underneath the bonnet, and it also stops water from slamming in and possibly changing the pitch of your radiator fans, because if that happens, you can actually cut a hole in your radiator and find that down the track your engine's overheated because you've lost your radiator fluid. Obviously, we fit a snorkel to our vehicles because that lifts the air intake much higher and stops us taking in big gulps of water, which would hydraulic the engine, because your engine can't compress water. It is incompressible, and that causes major terminal damage to your vehicle. So we're running snorkels on all of our vehicles. You can get away with a water blind for a short crossing, but it is a lot more sketchy. So that's the outside preparation. Let's get in the vehicle and prep for the drive now. I'd always recommend selecting low range in your four-wheel drive because that gives you additional torque to the wheels, particularly at those lower speeds. And you will find there's quite a bit of resistance in the water as you're trying to push your way through that water crossing, and you never know how soft it is underneath there. So you want to engage any traction device that you can. So I'm going to select low range now. And in addition, I'm going to select the rear differential lock. That locks up those rear tyres and they will then turn at identical speeds. So it doesn't matter if one of them slips, it will still continue driving. So it really gives you that positive traction just in case you get stuck halfway across. Now, that brings us to the driving style. What should you do? I think a lot of beginners make the mistake of really hitting it because they are so excited and a little bit fearful of what's going to happen, so they hit it really hard. That's not a smart thing to do because you get this big jolt and stop and it's not a smooth run. What you're wanting to do is create a nice bow wave around the front of your four-wheel drive and just do steady progress. If you hit it hard, you could damage electrical components, radiator fans, all sorts of stuff as you hit it hard. So just go in reasonably gently and then keep a firm throttle on the way through. But there's no need to go too fast because you may end up spinning tyres and getting bogged. You tend to find that the guys that drive steadily all the way through, keeping that constant throttle on there, they are the ones that successfully get to the other side. Don't be jerky on the throttle because that could lose your momentum, dig your holes, all sorts of stuff. You just want to keep that constant momentum going through, and then you'll find that 99 times out of 100 you will make it to the other side absolutely safely. Now, if it is a particularly tricky crossing as well, you can also take the precaution of getting your straps or your winch ropes ready so that they are ready to go so that your vehicle isn't stuck in that river and sustaining damage. Because let's face it, these four-wheel drives, they are driven by loads of different computers, and if those computers get wet or sodden, that's when you can have often irreparable damage done to your four-wheel drive. So please take some serious precautions, but enjoy those water crossings because they are a wonderful part of our four-wheel drive adventures. I'm so glad, and the crew are so glad that we camped here last night, because I think the Old Telegraph Track, it is one of those tracks where you've got to stay buttoned on all the time. There's lots of people there. It's a frenetic pace and it's very challenging through the duration. So to be able to find a spot like this, we are the only campers here. There is about 6 campsites, but we're the only one here in peak season. And you get here and you kind of decompress. And I would recommend that rather than jumping rapidly on that ferry and racing to the tip, come here and experience this really special part of tropical Australia, a part that hardly anyone ever gets to see. And I mean, look at this. We're camped literally on the Jardine River. The Melaleuca are in bloom. This to me is what it's all about. The challenges, yes, we love them, but the serenity that you get at a spot like this to me is what it's all about.
After an epic journey, it was time to say goodbye to the Old Telegraph Track as we departed camp and backtracked to pick up the Northern Bypass Road. But it's the kind of track that can leave a mark, sometimes literally, as in the case of my rig, but also on you as a four-wheel driver.
For a whole lot of people, four-wheel driving is an escape. It's an escape to somewhere, and also sometimes an escape from something. Sometimes your mind just likes to play tricks on you, and one of my favourite things about this track is likely not what you're expecting. It's that it forces distraction. It forces you to focus and think critically about what you're doing, because you take your eyes off the track and it's going to punish you. So you really are so distracted from anything that you may have going on at home or anything like that. And it's one of the reasons that I myself got into four-wheel driving. But this track, more than any other in Australia that I've driven, has epitomized that for me. It has been absolutely revitalizing. So thank you to the Old Telegraph Track.
Although that said, Josh might have been a little distracted from his driving as well.
Geez, what's he doing? Coming up my inside. I think he thinks it's an off-road overtaking lane.
I don't know if I'm feeling brave or stupid, but I just found it. Okay. No, I'm just stupid.
Mate, that was coming up the outside, I think. I think I've lost him back there.
Patsky, may I borrow your F-150, please?
Bogger strikes again.
Classic Josh Lennon maneuver there. I tried to go on the right-hand side, get around Patsky for a bit of fun, but I made it 3 meters in before I ran out of talent and clearance. I can't go forward, I can't go backwards. I've got a winch, there's an F-150 there. I think we're just gonna get it out quick.
Okay, let's get this rig into place. And try not to get bogged in the process. It's pretty firm up here.
Oh man, boots are off, the socks are off, and the pants are pulled up. I'm about to go get dirty, and to be fair, it's kind of my own fault.
It's a bit of an unwritten rule when it comes to recoveries. You get it bogged, you can do the dirty work. There's no trees around here, as we sort of mentioned earlier, that are beefy enough to hold the weight of a Ford Ranger. So an F-150, that's just fine. So we're going to use the recovery point on the back end of my vehicle as Josh's anchor point, and a simple straight line pull with his covert winch.
We're going to chuck a dampener on for safety and hopefully just do a really quick pull out. Hopefully it doesn't pull Pat backwards and get him stuck, or I'll be really unpopular. What a way to start the day.
Okay, so now I've got to prepare my vehicle. And you might think that just being an anchor vehicle, there's not much to do. Leave her in park, leave the vehicle off. No, don't do that. You could do some serious damage. So I have my vehicle running, that powers up my brakes, and I'm also going to put my vehicle in drive. Now I do that because when your vehicle is locked in park, it's not designed to move, so it's designed to stay in place. Then those gears that are holding it in place, if you all of a sudden put some serious winching force behind it, that could potentially snap those gears. Obviously you don't want that to happen. So I'm slipping it into drive, vehicle on, and now I'm ready for him to start tugging at my vehicle, because there is a potential that my vehicle could be pulled half a meter backwards in the process. Okay Josh, I am all set up here mate. How are you looking?
I'm ready to go. I've got the remote in my hand for this covert. If you're happy, I'll start winching.
No worries, mate. There's no bystanders, no camera crew that are going to get beaten up here. You can call it because you can see it better. Just all clear and winching.
Patsky, when I start this winch, when should I lay down the power just so I'm not digging more holes?
Great question, mate. It's really just about trying to match the speed of your winch. So you don't want to overrun it and dig holes. That's what'll happen. But you also don't want to make it too hard for the winch by having no acceleration whatsoever, because you're really just trying to make it as mechanically easy on the winch as you possibly can, and that makes it easier on the whole vehicle. So that's the trick, and you can really feel that when you start winching. Just with a bit of practice, you just tend to get that speed bang on.
Beauty. Okay, well, I'll just match the speed of the winch and make sure that there's always a bit of tension there, and we'll see how we go. Okay, all clear and winching.
It's a bit of power on that winch. I can really feel my vehicle just getting jolted backwards.
Oh, it's proper stuck. I'm coming out of the ground much higher than I thought it would. I was proper stuck and I'm not confident I can keep going.
Okay, well, maybe come a little bit further and then we can rehook again if we need to. Give it a bit of drive. Yeah, I think you might be out now.
Yep, that looks like I might be out. Let's see how we go.
I was so stuck in that winch. It didn't just pull me out, it pulled me up. Felt like I got a 6-inch lift in a matter of seconds. I was deep down.
Yeehaw! My little detour turned into, well, a whole lot of work. I won't do that again. I'll just stay behind the red thing.
And then, just when we thought we were home and hosed, I got a call over the radio from Steve.
You got a copy, Pat?
I do, mate. What's up?
Oh, mate, I've just got myself a little hung up here, and I'm not going anywhere, so I might need you to spin around and come and rescue me if you could, please.
No worries, mate. I'll double back. Give me a sec.
Thanks, mate. I'll wait here.
Like you've got a choice. Okay, mate. Well, there's a bit of a sharp turn after where you're stuck, so I reckon this might be just a job for your winch, actually. I was going to snatch you out, but I think the snatch strap's a little bit too long for this recovery, so how about we do a short little winch?
Yeah, that works for me, mate. I'll jump out and get it sorted.
So, like Josh, Steve was out of the rig and into the mud to hook up his winch.
Now, Steve's actually just de-isolating the winch there. This isolation switch basically means that no one can stuff with your winch, or you're not going to get any false activations there. So it is possible for vandals to actually hotwire your winch simply by playing with the control box, but with that tucked away under the bonnet, it's not going to happen. And likewise, if you just get any shorts in there, if salt water gets in there, corrodes things and starts to activate your winch unnecessarily, it's a really dangerous thing, and it can also damage your bull bar. Now we might throw some gloves on, keep it nice and safe, and whip it out. Nice short winch here. If you're new to four-wheel driving, you might not appreciate just how important these recovery points are. We speak about it a lot, but I don't think it's a point that you should really forget about, because often four-wheel drives will come out of the factory with basically shipping tie-down points that aren't rated for a big, heavy recovery. So if you get these aftermarket ones, they are well and truly rated for snatching, for winching, and they're rated for much higher than the actual weight of the vehicle itself.
We're hooking the Bush Ranger 4x4 Revo winch on the Everest up to the recovery points on my F-150 to make this recovery simple and safe. And then it was time to get him out.
Righto, Pat, you good for me to have a winch?
Yes, mate. I am locked in reverse and brakes are on.
Now I'm ready to go.
Gee, she's proper bogged. Keep on coming, I reckon. Well done, mate. That winch was working overtime there, the Revo.
Yeah, it did a good job though, got us out of that situation. We can continue on, so I'll just pack it all back up and off we go.
Good work, mate. Thank you.
That was good. A little bouncy, but we got there in the end, so laughing nice and easy. 5-second winch and we're out.
Well, that was a muddy bit of fun for the morning. Consider it a kiss goodbye from the Old Telegraph Track.
We've made our way along the northern bypass road to the Jardine River crossing. The ferry here requires a ticket to cross, and let's just say you'll probably get more bang for your buck at Luna Park.
Well, this little sticker, folks, cost me $160, and that is for the privilege of about a 30-second ride across the Jardine River.
So, golden ticket in hand, it was time to board and make the most of our time on the Jardine River ferry.
Well, we made it finally on the Jardine River ferry. Used to be able to cross this thing, but gosh, it looks long and deep. So, knowing me, a ferry is probably a better option.
Now it's onwards to the tip. As we make our push north, the view out the windscreen has undergone a beautiful change.
I really love this final little dash to the Cape because you have these gorgeous little water crossings, but it really does feel like you are in a different part of Australia. This is rainforest country, in certain pockets at least. It's dark, it's dank, but it is absolutely beautiful.
We're so close to the tip now, and I've got this mixture of feelings. I feel great sadness because, well, it feels like this whole trip, this whole endeavour is coming to an end. But on the other side, I am full of accomplishment and camaraderie. The mateship that we fostered here was amazing. The wheeling we did was incredible. The recoveries were insane. And the fact that we've made it, and we've made it with 3 cars intact, is just the best feeling, I tell you. And this Ranger and I, we have bonded. With 500 Newton meters to play with, it's gotten me right where I wanted to go. So thank you, mate.
Suddenly, the rainforest canopy opened up, and we'd made it. The very tip of the continent was now only a short walk away. Now, there are a few ways to get to the tip. One is to walk over the top of the headland, but the quickest way, provided the tide is playing ball, is to park up at Frangipani Beach, stroll along the flats, and then make your way over the short stretch of rocks until you're there.
Well, fellas, we actually made it. Well done.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, Steve.
Unreal.
There was a few times there where I wasn't too sure that we would have made it.
Same. Yeah.
So how was it for you, Josh?
Like what you said, mate, I really wasn't sure if we were gonna make it. It's one of those tracks where you're just hanging by the seat of your pants the whole time. So to get here feels like a massive achievement.
Yeah, and I reckon it's a bit of a load off because there's so many challenges down on that track that to get here in one piece, and we have had a little bit of damage along the way, it's kind of, whew, yes, we've made it. And how about you, Steve?
Oh, mate, I loved it. Every step of the way was just an adventure. You never knew what the track was doing, and thought I was prepared for everything, but we just had a crack and we got through, and I loved it. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. And I mean, the nice thing is once you get here, you can genuinely breathe a sigh of relief and then go and explore some of the other awesome stuff around here. We're going to do the 5 beaches drive. It's going to be a little bit of fun, but all the stuff that's up here is not going to be anywhere near the challenge of down on the track.
Right, so a bit of rest and relaxation then.
Absolutely. Well, the pressure's off now, fellas. I think we all deserve a celebratory cold refreshment.
I think so.
Let's roll.
And with the sun slipping away, there was nothing left to do than pop up the bushwhacker, fold out some chairs, pour a few frosty refreshments, and reflect on the journey we had just made.
What an idyllic location. We didn't even book our camp here, did we?
No.
And we roll up with proper beachfront camping. This is so nice. So, fellas, if you were to give some advice to someone that hadn't been to the Cape before, what would be one thing that you would tell a newbie?
I would say make sure you have a good winch. A good winch on board's got us out of strife a couple of times on this trip. So, yeah, definitely consider that as a really important thing to bring with you.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, well, that was a good call. I think pace is really important. On something like the Old Telegraph Track, you have nothing but time. So get out, walk things, look at what you're doing, and literally just drive slowly. There is nothing on the Old Telly that you need to hit at speed.
And when things do go wrong, yeah, take a deep breath, because
It is pretty challenging out there. It's yeah, she's a pretty A-grade track these days and very difficult.
I can't believe, like, there's beginners hitting that track, and like you referred to earlier, it's like a double black diamond sort of track now. It's a heavy hitter, so just go slow.
And Steve, how was that feeling when you first hit the tip?
Mate, it was unreal. Just like I said, I've seen the sign a few times on socials and posted about, but to see it yourself for the first time is a really good experience. And yeah, it sort of makes you think how large Australia is and puts it in perspective.
I just love the fact that to get to the northernmost tip of Australia, it's a pretty cool four-wheel drive trip. and the same thing goes for the westernmost point. You know, there's a really cool four-wheel drive trip over there, and I just love that four-wheel drives still in this super civilized world are the place to get to the coolest places. You know, that's how you do it. So.
And that's right. And it wasn't an easy task. So it was quite rewarding.
What about you, Josh?
I think elation for me, but also a lot of proudness. Really proud to be out here, to be doing it with you and doing it the right way. There is genuine wrong ways to attack the Old Telly, and I feel like we did it the right way. So I was proud of us. Yeah.
Awesome. I think, hang on, just before we go too much further, I think the word is pride, not proudness. But I'll just give you an English lesson.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't finish school. What about, I've got a question for you. If you come up the PDR and you head to the tip, do you think genuinely you've done Cape?
You know, I suppose if you're over 70, yes, you've probably done the Cape, you know, because some people, you know, aren't as fortunate to be as mobile as us and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it certainly doesn't seem like the right way to do the Cape because you miss out on so much. Yeah, the Old Telegraph is obviously the pinnacle of four-wheel drive tracks in this neck of the woods, and some would argue all of Australia. So yeah, I think the Old Telly is definitely, that's the one where you can really pat yourself on the back to say, I actually made it, because I think anyone that does it is a proper achievement.
Yeah. Yeah, and genuinely physically challenging as well. You're right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's not too many spots on the east coast of Australia where you can watch that sunset dip into the water. So I reckon we just kick back and enjoy, boys.
I reckon.
Welcome back. We're starting our final day on the Cape with a trip into Somerset, the northernmost locality in all of Queensland. And we've popped into town where I'm picking up a surprise treat to share with the guys later on.
Now, there's a local delicacy that you'll find up in Cape York that you rarely see anywhere else in Australia, and it is called salty plum. And I'm going to give the guys a taste of this out on the track and see what they reckon.
This area is also home to a surprising amount of history dating back to settler times, which I'm keen to check out.
It's funny, you walk around this area called Somerset now and it just looks to be a bit of overgrown jungle. But in 1864, the British government and the Queensland governments got together and they said, we want Somerset to be our strategic base. New Caledonia, the French had a footprint in there, so the British wanted to establish their dominance at this part of Australia. So it was designed to be a shipping hub, a supply hub, and even a missionary hub for this part of the country. But it didn't work out so well. They were attacked by white ants in all the buildings. There was a whole lot of violence, thanks largely to Jardine and his men, who ruled with an iron fist over this part of northern Australia. But eventually, Somerset collapsed and was consumed by the jungle. The new hub became Thursday Island.
There is so much more to Cape York than just the tip, and one of the best adventures you can do is the 5 Beaches Drive. Best completed at low tide, this drive showcases a nice little slice of history and scenery. So that was our task for the day.
Well, the sand down there is nice and hard, but the little track coming out, a little bit soft and a little bit lumpy. Not a particular challenge for our Fords, but it's really nice to know that this isn't just a track. It is a four-wheel drive track. You would not get around here in two-wheel drive.
This is proper red dirt meets the ocean. It is just stunning and the greens are popping. It's like somebody's just turned the saturation right up on this drive. There's so much marine debris washed up as well. Shows you how rugged this stretch really is, but it just feels so remote.
Well, I can tell you folks that this track does not see much maintenance. I think the maintenance it actually sees is four-wheel drives driving it and chopping the branches with their panels.
Having found ourselves a nice clearing, I thought it was a good time to take in that view and break out the snacks.
Oh, how's that, guys? Is that not the perfectly framed picture of the coast up here? Pandanus, termite mound, turquoise water.
It is stunning. Could be a postcard.
It could, yeah, it really could. But I have got you guys a special gift. This is a local delicacy. It's called salty plum, and I need you to eat the entire thing on my say-so, okay? We will all get ready.
And you swallow this?
Well, I think it's got a little seed in it as well, but we have a little bit of a munch. Okay, let's get into it, boys.
Salty's right.
Certainly is. Don't know how much plum I'm getting.
Whoa.
Suck on it, but get all that salt out of there.
It's a little bit of a time bomb too.
Oh my goodness, it makes my eyes.
Hang on, there's a bit going on.
Keep on, yeah, keep on chewing. Oh, look at your mouth.
I feel, yeah, I've been on the beetle nut.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that was incredibly generous of you to share that with us.
To be fair, I might go another one. I actually don't
Really?
mind it. Yeah.
That's it. There is so much going on in there. Mainly sour.
Yeah.
And salty. Tiny bit of sweet in the back of it, but boy oh boy.
Towards the end, it's not too bad though.
Mm.
Like it's very intense, but then it comes back.
I've always wanted my tongue to match the F-150. So.
I wonder if it's because it's hot and humid here all year round that snacks like this, they get the salt back into your system. And you know, we know how important salt is in keeping hydrated. But boy oh boy, that's a full-on taste.
It took me on a journey.
But I'm okay with it.
$55 folks for the mega bag Bamaga Servo, can't go wrong.
An acquired taste to be sure. So, fortified for the tracks ahead, we continued our exploration.
I really can't think of a better way to spend your day than cruising across 5 beaches in absolute tropical paradise in your favourite 4x4 with 2 good mates. This is just amazing.
3 beaches in, how are we feeling about this track?
Mate, I'm ecstatic. I really can't think of a better way to spend the day.
Yeah, nothing like popping in and out of different little coves for beaches. It's great.
It's so different, isn't it? I can't think of another place in Australia where you actually just dive in and out of the beaches. You don't really need to think about your navigation too much. You can just dive in and explore.
Absolutely, but this is one that you wouldn't want to attempt at high tide, I'm thinking.
No, definitely. Low tide's the go.
I feel like we're just exploring a remote tropical island that we somehow managed to drive to.
You know, you go from beach to, in this case, kind of jungle with big old paper barks and thick forest.
Yeah, each entry has a different offering.
And as with every coastal track, they are tight. You really are limited in the lines that you can take on a track like this. There is a distinct inability to move left and right. Sometimes you've just got to steer straight and commit and put down the pedal and know that the vehicle's power is going to get you through. And that's why you drive a 4-wheel drive that is genuinely built for places like this. 4-wheel drive like a Ford Ranger, say.
These aren't challenging tracks, making them a fantastic opportunity for beginners who may have skipped a telegraph track to get out there and test their vehicles on a variety of terrain.
There are these big lumps of volcanic rock that make for a very bumpy ride down this hill. Take it nice and easy and you shall be fine. Oh, they're pushing me into the side of the bank though at the moment. I think I'll just make the turn. There we go. And there's a beautiful view at the end of it. Looks like we've got a few wild brumbies just up ahead here. Little family of 1, 2, 3, 4. least.
Like in many places in Australia, the Brumbies in Cape York are believed to descend from the horses brought here by the First Fleet. And while they are beautiful to see, remember, they're also wild. So don't approach them on foot, as they can be pretty dangerous. The last stop on our Cape adventure is very cool indeed. We're swapping our fleet of Fords for this.
Well, Joshy, we have done Cape York in the 4B. We've done it on foot. What do you reckon now we do it in style?
Oh, mate, this is a proper treat. I think this is a good idea.
I cannot wait.
Let's go for a fly. Welcome to Cape York from above.
And the view from the air, as you'd expect, is magnificent. This really is an incredible experience to be right over the top and see Cape York from the air. Folks, you must do this if you get the opportunity.
Oh, there. So you guys are the highest Australians in Australia right now.
Well, I've got to say, that was a fantastic way to cap off our Cape York adventure. And like the rest of this trip, an experience I will not forget.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, Steve, Josh and I have had one hell of an adventure. We've had a ball up here. Cape York, I mean, it's considered the geographic pinnacle of Australia, but it could also be considered the pinnacle of four-wheel drive journeys. And I hope you can make it up here one day yourself. I'm Pat Callinan. Until next time, keep the shiny side up.